Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose with Cryptic Paranormal Show, and it looks like we lost Kalani already. He was just on. We have special guest Kalani Smith. Hopefully, he will be able to hawk back on here shortly. Um, he seemed to be doing all right. There's a little bit of delay between asking questions and him responding, so hopefully he gets back on soon. But in the meantime, hold on. Let me actually unmute everybody. Here we
Oh,
go.
geez.
That would be nice. Heisenberg, brother, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing a lot better than I was last week.
I don't know. We're back.
You're back on, man. We are live too, so we're good to go. But
surprise.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better than I was last week. I was a little rough, but feeling 100%. It wasn't bad at all this time around. Good. So we're good. Back to work, back to the grind. So how are you doing, Denise?
Pretty good. Pretty busy. I was working up until, 5 minutes ago?
Right. Right. Awesome. We got
burning that midnight oil, man.
I know.
Midnight oil.
So we got Penny. Hello, Penny. Good evening. What's up, Sage? But the guest of the evening is Mr. Kalani Smith, Kalani Ghost Hunter. If you guys don't know him, you're apparently not on TikTok because he's pretty hot right now. Love watching his adventures. He's been a part of all the Adam Cons, as I like to call them. Yeah. Coming up on MadCon 5 next weekend already. It seemed like it came up on us real fast. But really excited to get to know Kalani. Kalani, how are you doing, man?
I am doing good. I'm sitting in the middle of a Comfort Inn and Suites parking lot to do this on my route down
nice.
Bridge in Texas. So it's never a dull moment.
It sounds like it, man. I love following all your adventures on TikTok. I've been following you for a while. That was really cool when you got involved with the conventions that Adam holds at his different venues. Saw that you were at Madison. Saw a couple of your videos from there. That's like our home away from home from the show. So we love seeing that. But so let's start from the beginning, though. Like, how did you start getting into this? Like, what's your origin story? Tell us about yourself.
So it all started for me when I was 11. When I was 11, I saw the ghost of a Civil War drummer boy, but at the time I thought it was a reenactor. And he looked about 8, and he was in the gray Confederate outfit, and he had his drums he had his drum and his sticks. And I thought it was a reenactor because we were in town. I was when I was still doing scouting. And we were in town like a scouting event, and it was the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Shiloh. Mm-hmm. So I'm out running in the woods, tipping people's tents over at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we're on this trail, and I stumble across this drummer boy that I thought was a reenactor. And I essentially am trying to like communicate with this kid, but he's not really. He's like talking through me almost. Wow. And then I watched him kind of walk past me and disappear. So from that point on, it wasn't a story or question of if it's real. It's just, why can I not have that happen over and over and over again? I guess it's probably
yeah.
So it's still out here that again. I don't know that I'll ever get it, but
yeah.
That's where it started. And then about a year and a month ago, I started making content. So I've only been doing content for a year and a month. It's obviously done exceptionally well. I'm blessed to have it explode the way that it has, but my life will never be the same from it. So it's been a major adjustment for me and my wife, but
I bet.
I think we're doing well.
That's awesome, man. And like I said, I love watching your adventures. I mean, it just like I want to go there and I want to go there. I've been there. That's awesome. I'm glad he's having the same experiences. That's really cool. So, hold on, I'm trying to share this out at the same time. Denise, take over for
you guys. I this is gonna sound terrible because I am a volunteer at Madison, but I get really scared watching people investigate. So I try to tune in until something scary happens, and then I have to turn it off because I'm a big chicken shit. But I do love that your wife joins you as well, and you guys can do that together because that's not something, that a lot of people have. including myself. Not that, I'm complaining about it, but I just think it's awesome, especially because it was such a quick change for you. You jumped into it and everything just sort of exploded, like you said. So I feel like it's good that, you have that support.
Yeah, and she wasn't necessarily into it, I guess I would say in the beginning. But with the frequency of which I do everything and how much I travel, I guess in her mind it was either like, well, I'll either get on board and make this a hobby of mine, or I'll see him less. So
right.
When I first started, she would only go to mild locations, but now, she'll go to Pinhurst and anywhere else with me. So it's been, like I said, it's been an adjustment, but
yeah.
It's been a lot more fun since she's been able to kind of tag along for a lot of them. So she does really good with Estes sessions as well. I don't know what it is. Maybe
cool.
Maybe it's that because she's a woman, it has a difference. What's up, Phil? Good to see you, Phil. But it's it's been an adjustment, and like I said, with everything exploding the way that it has, there's a lot of pros and cons to this. It's not as glamorous as it seems at times, but that's part of the life I live, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
The traveling constantly has got. I mean, is that taking a toll on you yet, or is that something that you enjoy?
I enjoy the traveling. I really don't like being in the same place for more than a couple days, including where I'm from. I've been traveling for a long time. I did all of my undergrad, because I got 2 degrees, but I did almost the entirety of my undergrad online because I wanted the freedom to travel while I was studying. So, I mean, I even did courses as far as China in the last year of my undergrad. So the traveling portion doesn't really bother me too much. I kind of just see it as that's one of the pros for me, but I guess the con would be sometimes there's a lot of like drama that gets dropped on your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
The higher up you climb, even if you're not even involved in it, your name gets thrown into it, and then all of a sudden you're involved.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It seems it's an unfortunate thing in the field. I mean, but it's kind of one of those things you just kind of have to deal with and move on. I mean, just being in the field, being in any field, really, it's really about social media. I think social media, as amazing as it is, and as like how it's just allows us to share our adventures with everybody. Like you said, with that comes the drama, and then going down that rabbit hole and trying to deal with all that at the same time. It's and sometimes you have to deal with it, because if it's directed at you, you got to put it to rest, or you got to take care of business. But at the same time, you don't want to go down the rabbit hole,
right?
And you just want to continue to have fun. That's why we always say at the end of the show, don't be an asshole, because we're just we do this to have fun. And there's a lot of shows that take things like really seriously, and we take things seriously if we go down a certain road or talking about a certain subject. That's awesome. But I mean, a lot of times if it's just the three of us, we end up just talking about food the whole time. You know what I mean? just having fun with it. So
but it's hard, like you said, when the drama is at your doorstep and people are involving you, sometimes you don't have a choice. But we're the same way, man. If I don't give a shit what's going on with people, I don't want to hear anybody's drama. I don't want to hear gossip. I don't want to hear rumors. Like, my brain literally cannot even comprehend it. It will go in one ear and out the other, because I don't give a shit. I am too busy focusing on myself and what I want to do, and call it selfish, whatever. I don't care about drama. But
not even in the movies?
I'm with
no.
Jackass.
Nope.
There's drama clubs all over the world that are going heartbroken right now.
It's just, I mean, it's people. It's people. And people want to talk all the time about how it's the paranormal field. It's not. It's people. People are assholes. Yeah. There's people in the paranormal field. It's going to happen.
Trolling is part of the human condition.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hate people.
You just have to learn to have really thick skin, I've learned. And like, I'll tell you the biggest problem that I've had, I guess, in the paranormal field is there's a lot of folks that have been trying to make content for a long time and just haven't necessarily had the success. which I didn't do anything special. I just made videos and people liked them, and then here we are. But sometimes there's a stroke of jealousy that comes through, and that's something that I've had to deal with more times than not. But I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, I'm only 24, so it's like, in a lot of their minds, it's that jealousy factor kind of playing in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've seen it. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I've seen it online and in social media with you, with other people that
Hang
are.
on, I'm gonna refresh really quick. I don't know
Okay.
what this thing's doing again.
Okay, you're coming through. Okay, but that's fine. You're good.
That was just his polite way of saying, all right, how do I get out of this?
Right.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry.
So yeah, he quit on us. No,
It's like, I'm tired of talking to those assholes already.
right. It's like when Easton was doing homeschooling, and he would just stare.
Good.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
All right, cool.
I don't know what's going on here.
So when this is totally off topic, when my 8-year-old was doing homeschooling, he was just sitting there one day and he's just staring at his computer and he's not moving. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm trying to get my teacher to think I'm frozen so she won't ask questions.
That is a smart kid right there.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's what I do here.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you have to.
Exactly, Tony. It's mind over matter. You don't mind that assholes don't matter. Exactly.
Yep.
I think I told, it's funny with this, and it's kind of bad though, but I told Kate that I could give a shit about the rest of the world right now.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, at some point you have to. You have to separate yourself from all that to stay sane.
And I don't know
the meanness of it, like you're talking about trolls and stuff. I look through the comments and some of the YouTube things. I'm like, dude, they're just having fun.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
They're not like doing anything bad. They're just having fun. But everybody's got a comment about it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I couldn't do what you guys do. Like, I don't know about TikTok, but like YouTube and all that stuff. Those people work hard.
Yeah.
They
it's
drop
not
those
easy.
videos like crazy.
We're gonna try my other phone. This is irritating me. We're trying my other phone now.
Okay.
Do what you got to do, man.
Because I have good connection, but it's just like it's being stupid. So give me 1 sec.
Okay.
This is why we have two.
But it's hard work. They got to release videos like every.
Yeah, I mean that is the key to success. Like especially with TikTok, you got to keep coming up with content every day, or
because you become a full product if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Kalani's, his are pretty well edited. Like he knows what he's doing.
Right.
There's the editing involved. Yep.
And even the TikTok lives, man, I get tired just watching them because he's in like a different state every night, and he's on for hours, at a time. Like I don't know how he does it.
Well, Sage, I'm about 48, and people still look at me like I don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm doing. Mostly because I don't.
That doesn't go away, but it is harder. People do think that kids these days,
right?
They want to judge them, but
they work hard on some of that stuff, man. Like,
right?
Yeah. I still haven't figured it out.
But yeah, I read the comments and I'm just like, why?
I know.
Why do you have to be that way?
I know. Yeah. Like the whole, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all is like such a distant thing that like never happens anymore.
Yeah, that's too old school. That died with us Gen Xers, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to punch them through my phone.
Right.
What's sad is, I mean, I see even people our age still doing the same thing. So
I have pulled up next to the cell phone tower, so I can't get any closer than where we're at.
You already sound like 10 times better, and
it does sound better.
Your video is coming through right on, so that's perfect.
Yeah. So let's stop talking about shitty fucking people.
Yes, let's move on.
Let's talk about MadCon because I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. This is a huge event. I know that Fairfield and ISS have cons as well, but
It's MadCon,
obviously
but
I
it's the
prefer
original.
MadCon. Right.
Yeah.
I think they'll get there at some point, but I think MadCon's definitely the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the original.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, ISS, this was their first year, and FCI is still so new. But yeah, MadCon is definitely it's definitely a huge family reunion. It's such a good time.
Yeah, and most of the vendors were all friends, so it's like, I mean, if we sell stuff, cool. If we're not, we're like, we're hanging out and having a good time. It's like, if we're selling our merch, awesome. If we're
Except me, I
not,
hide in the corner and smoke cigarettes all the time, so Ray doesn't make me do anything.
Back.
Ray, how do I use this thing? Ray?
And I just pretend to be working at the table, but really I have other shit to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Climb the cell phone tower
Phil.
next.
Leave me alone.
It's working much better now, though.
She wants to know how you'd afford to travel and go to all these locations.
So I get paid from social media just for viewership, and I have people that support me. So that's how I do it. I mean, I'm not out here making a bunch of money if that's what you're wondering.
Oh,
But
we
I
know
am
you're staying
making
at the
enough.
Comfort Inn. We know.
No, I'm just here for the signal.
Stopping at the parking lot to Comfort Inn.
Yeah, he's only halfway to where he needs to go. That's how cool Kalani is right now, because he pulled over in his long trek to just talk to us for an hour. So we appreciate it, man.
Well, like I said, I hate when stuff doesn't work right. So that's why we're sitting here next to. Hang on, let me see if I can get you guys a good view of this. Wait, will it let me switch? I don't know if it will. Hang on, I can just do this way. There's the wonderful tower.
Oh my
wow,
gosh.
you're right under it. Nice.
So,
hello, Jesse.
We're not kidding. That's awesome. I mean, you are literally living the dream. We all talk about how we would love to be able to just do this for a living and go travel to all these places and get paid for it. So I'm super proud of you and so happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. And you're young, and this is the time to do it.
Jealous.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is the time to do it. Yeah, we're all jealous.
If TikTok and YouTube was a thing back in the 90s, things might have been different for me. But no, I mean, I'm glad just to have this show every Thursday. I am really cool with
it. Yeah.
My case. Hey, guys.
No, that's super exciting.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Do you go early and do like a tour of the place while you're not live?
Sometimes I don't. It really just depends on locations. Like I'm getting in town early to go to Goatman's Bridge in the daytime just to get some shots that I need. But I mean, like with a place like that, tomorrow I'll have to be cognizant of the surrounding areas, because the moment I go live, it turns into a shit show because so many people will show up if they know I'm in the area.
Oh,
wow.
It's kind of nerve-wracking when I'm outside at places because I don't know what I'm gonna get into. Like Lake Shawnee, I had 7 different groups of people show up.
Wow.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Just put on a fake mustache and be like, I don't know who you're talking to.
Right.
Let's walk around with a trench coat and a
fake mustache.
Maybe it's the cowboy hat you wear.
Yeah,
I mean,
so if I don't have the cowboy hat on, I don't have many people like know who I am. But like if I have a cowboy hat on and I go out to places, people know who I am. So it's kind of weird. But if I don't want to be seen, I just don't wear my cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You should make some Kalani cowboy hats as merch.
I don't know. I'll only wear Stetson. So unless Stetson's running those, I'm not going to sell them.
They're very particular about their cowboy hats, man.
I won't.
Maybe you can get a sponsorship.
One. Maybe. I don't know if Stetson's going to go the route of Paranormal, but if the day they do, I'll be ready for them.
I'm right here waiting for you guys.
I'm sure there's Stetson reps watching the show, so make sure you guys write that down.
Obviously, there's Stetson reps watching the show.
We can hope. We can
You
hope.
never
Right.
know, though. That's what I love about the paranormal. You could have people who are doctors. You could have people who work at a gas station. Look at
Yeah.
Stormy Daniels. You could have any kind of past you want. You don't know who's going to be into the paranormal.
I will say it's probably one of the most diverse fields in terms of the walks of life of people that are interested in it. There's not really a
Right.
rhyme or reason. It's just a lot of different people interested in the same thing. I mean, I don't jump into politics or anything like that, but I mean, it's just crazy how we all come from different backgrounds and
Right.
viewpoints, but none of that
Yeah.
really matters because it's under the umbrella of the paranormal.
And it's funny
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people that I've known for years through the paranormal, and I would consider them good friends even. They're people that I reach out to for every aspect of my life, and you don't even know like what they do for a living. They'll all of a sudden mention their job, and you're like, no shit, that's what you do? I didn't know.
Yeah.
It is really
For
cool.
sure.
Oh, Nancy's
Sorry.
excited. Nancy, I got your hoodie ready.
There's Nancy. Nancy's one of my faves.
She is so
Mama
sweet.
bear.
I just love her.
I cannot wait to finally meet her. I had to hurry up
Yeah.
and get better and healthy so I could get there and make sure I get my hug from Mama Bear.
Yeah.
She investigated with me at ISS. Her and one of her
Oh.
sons investigated with me at ISS. It was fun.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Awesome.
She's a real cool lady. We love her.
She's such a sweetheart.
She went with me to
Everybody.
the cemetery too, because I went somewhere after ISS, and then it started pouring down rain, so she left. But she was gung ho that night.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She left she was at another festival type thing, I want to say at OSR, and then left that, came to FCICon, was hanging out with us for a couple hours, and then she went back to the other one.
Oh,
She's
wow.
super. Yeah.
She's also the best person to befriend if you want to win any of the raffle items. Just
Oh, yeah?
become friends with Nancy and just get
Okay.
in her pocket. She might be a good avenue to get something you want. You just got to sweet talk her a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay.
So we got Nancy and we got Peggy because
Yeah.
Peggy seems
Peggy wins all the time too.
she
No way,
cleans
man. This is my year.
Okay.
up.
My raffle year.
I'm excited for the raffles.
Yeah, they're always amazing.
I still haven't won squat.
I'm gonna-
I still have not won squat. I can't
I'm gonna
even
win
win
me
a
a flashlight.
Starbucks bag of coffee.
I
Oh
know,
my
and there was
gosh,
like
I
10
was-
of them, and I didn't even win one.
I think it was last year. I was booking so hard for that Black Rifle coffee.
I know.
There's so many different packages, and I'm like, oh my god, I just want a bag. Give me a bag.
Right.
Anybody? Like
There
$10
seriously was like 10 or 12 baskets full of Black Rifle, and I didn't win any of them.
Yeah, it sucks. But it wasn't MadCon 3. I won that awesome knife.
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
made.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like one of the only things I put in for, and I ended up winning. It was a really cool handmade knife that somebody put up. That was local
Yeah.
to Madison. It ended up being a good friend of mine. It was really cool too because he makes blades and he helps veterans.
Yeah, his company is called Forge 22, and it's for the 22 veterans a day who commit suicide. So a lot of his proceeds go to veteran suicide awareness.
Yeah, he's
Sorry,
a
I'm
super
trying to-
cool guy. What's that?
I said, sorry, I'm trying to look at my computer, and
Oh no, you're fine.
So
my
what do you like
computer's
to
messing up
eat?
too.
What's your go-to snack on the ghost?
There you
Oh,
go.
no,
There's the
I
question.
love sour candy. What's up?
Yes,
Nicole?
everybody. What? That's so weird.
Sour candy. So like I have this sponsorship from a candy company. But I
Wow.
got it because of how much I plug sour candy. Like anyone that
Yeah.
knows me, that watches me, it's always sour candy. So I took this gummy and I threw it in the portal to hell at Bobby Mackey's, and then I
Oh,
ate it
geez.
for a video, which I wouldn't probably do again because then you
Yeah.
get stories of people that are like, yeah, I pissed in that hole like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, nice. So I don't know if I'd do it again, but
Yeah.
it was fun. I mean, it was cool. I love sour candy though. It's probably my go-to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nancy. I'm going to win the Jeff Fent radio.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of tickets in for that one.
I mean, I'm totally kidding when I said this, but do I really want a spirit box with Adam's mug on it? I'm just kidding.
Yes.
That's
I
true.
do.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
I do.
All you have to say
Honestly.
is, can you say banana?
Banana.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
That's all.
Yep.
That's all the spirit box is actually tuned to pick up. If it's anything
Right.
other than banana, it won't work.
It just says banana. He should have put a little, like one of those little runts bananas in there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be so funny.
It'd be even better if like you could get the runts out of it, like be a like spirit radio box thing with a candy machine on it.
Like a Pez dispenser.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
Are you gonna actually use the spirit box, or are you just gonna keep eating candy?
Right. It's my
Keep
candy
eating
holder.
candy, man.
So Marvin has a good question for you. What's everyone's favorite piece of equipment to use while you're on investigation?
My favorite's the Envoy from Ghost Stop right now. I don't know if you've used it, but
No. Mm-mm.
it'll actually tell you why it's going off.
Oh.
And there's no words that are pre-programmed in it. So like something would have
Okay.
to go through and select each letter to spell something out. So
Oh,
the
wow.
best
Oh, wow.
example I have, I was at College Hill Hospital and I took 2 different sets of news reporters ghost hunting with me there. And one of the nights we were in the operating room and the words TV sucks comes through on the Envoy. So something had to spell out TV sucks. I like it more than like an Obulus or a comparable just because they're not really telling you why they go off. And
Right.
I still am struggling, scientifically speaking, to link how certain environmental conditions equal this given word. Like for me, that it kind of escapes my mind. And if I don't understand something that well, it's hard for me to like jump full force into it. But with the Envoy, it'll do EMF, touch, and temperature variance, but it'll actually tell you what's setting it off. So let's say you're in a location, the air conditioner comes on and it starts going off because the temperature variance is colder. Well, you can turn off the temperature aspect of it, so then it's not reading the air conditioner coming on. So it's my favorite piece so far. And Ghost Stop sent it to me as almost like a thank you because all the crap I buy from them, and I also am always like pushing their stuff. But I was gonna buy this one anyway. But it's probably my favorite word bank comparable.
Okay.
Oh, is it Lincoln time?
Yep.
Sorry. Fresh out
Here's
of
the good night Lincoln session
All right.
section of the.
Say good night,
show.
Lincoln.
Good night,
Night, buddy.
Lincoln.
Say hi.
Say hello, Governor.
Hello, Gabla.
That's awesome, buddy. Good job.
All right, buddy. Good night.
Good night, Lincoln.
Night,
Good night.
Lincoln.
Good night.
What is that?
What's
It's a mess. Good night, Lincoln.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's everybody saying
I've been
hello.
working on that just so if people say hello, he'll say that.
Oh my God,
Say
that's
hello.
so
I've
cute.
been trying to really work on that.
I love it.
Leave me alone, Raymond.
Somebody you know personally?
At least I can talk about them though. There's people out here with more followers than me that they're like, the lights are going off, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's a change in the barometric pressure, and you know.
Yeah.
I'm a geek. I love the techie side of stuff. So I know a lot of the ins and outs of the stuff that I use, but I feel like that's partly why people are very confused when they watch my stuff. Because you have like this Gen Z idiot that's like full of memes and just dumb humor.
Yeah.
But then you actually know quite a bit about the equipment and the field and almost the theory behind why you're doing what you're doing. So you're getting a nice mix of like legit ghost hunting, but with an idiot running the show. So it's a nice blend of just entertainment.
Well, it sounds honestly important because, especially like the temperature example, if you're just sitting there like, oh my God, a demon must have come in the room because the temperature changed. Like, it's so important to actually debunk things. And you can't do that if you don't understand that the K2 is going to go off when you get a text message. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's important to understand the equipment. It gives you more validity.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys see what I do when the EDI device starts going off. I'm like, okay, first thing I do is like check and like triangulate and make sure there's no actual EMF coming off of anything.
Right.
And then I like check the batteries because that thing will go haywire if the batteries are going bad. You know,
That's
make
like
sure my
every
phone's
device.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen people freak out because the REM pod is just going nuts. I'm like, did you change the batteries before you started using it?
Right.
Oh no. I'm like, sorry, it's not. I mean,
Yeah. Same
I
thing
don't
with the
want to be a
music
dick.
boxes too.
Yeah, you got to be careful with your equipment. It's all amazing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and we've had really cool things happen, like using the EDI device to get activity or document activity, and even with the ghost box, you have to be careful, or like the Fent box that I have. It's you just gotta. Not everything coming through it is a ghost responding to you. You just have to be careful.
Yeah, that's
sure.
super important to understand because
Did
otherwise
you
you
already
will
put
be.
patients comment up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're talking about
Let me
Santa's balls.
Mhm.
So I'll give you a little context on this one. I was at the McIntyre Villa, and if you know Stephanie, who owns the McIntyre Villa, she has a lot of adult themed humor. That's just how she is.
Perfect.
So she has like all of these skeletons down in the basement, and where their crotch would be, there's 2 cat balls.
Oh my
and
God.
she leaves that there for all of these different mannequins, or I mean skeletons. So I walk into the basement, and literally the moment I walk in, I look over and there's a skeleton in a Santa Claus suit, and his balls are lighting up.
Oh
So
my
then
gosh.
I put a REM pod in Santa's area, and I had this whole segment of Santa's balls. So that's a little context into that one.
Ugh.
That's funny, dude. I like that. That's my kind of humor. So, Facebook user, I'm not sure. This is one of those weird situations where some people have to like say okay to use my name when they come on here. But whoever Facebook user is, they want to know what your thoughts on a Faraday cage. Can it block it all out?
Is that something that people use for paranormal investigation?
They'll put their spirit boxes in them.
Yeah, like the
Oh.
SB7 or like the S box or whatever they'll put in there. It's supposed to keep like the radio frequencies from getting inside. I think it's like a little metal bag, basically.
Okay.
So I don't use one, but the reason I don't use one isn't because I don't think that they work. But for me, I'm not really focusing on those one-word responses.
Mhm.
I'm looking for sentences being carried out over multiple sweeps.
Right.
Because I think you could easily listen to an SB11 for long enough and just start hearing one words pop out that may or may not make sense. But when you're getting sentences carried over, especially if it's the same voice coming through multiple sweeps, then that to me is a little bit more convincing than just yes, no, or if you're like, where are we right now? I mean, odds are if there's a radio station by you, they're going to announce the name of the city that they're in, which is probably close to you.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really use a Faraday cage. It may be something I try out in the future. I use an SB11. I don't really use an SB7. Just because that's what I've had for the longest, and that's what I'm comfortable with. But that might be something I try out. But like I said, I focus more on the phrases and sentences comparative to just one-word responses. So I think in that case, I don't necessarily need a Faraday cage to have validity in what I'm doing.
Right. Especially with the one-word answers, when you could hear the question and you hear one word, it's so easy for you to just be like, oh my God, they said this. That's why I love the Estes method, because it takes all of that out of there.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great method. I love using it.
It honestly is my favorite. Like I don't even like listening. I'd rather do the Estes method all the time. I'm a snob about it now.
Well, and I started doing it because I do a lot of my stuff alone still. So like I'll have people that are a part of my Patreon group actually hop on like a giant voice channel, and I'll have people from all over the world asking questions while I'm under the headphones.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
As part of the live stream. So I enjoy it because not only is it a good way to get more people involved in my capacity, but I feel that, like, especially in the way that I do it, that, you know, there could be somebody 1,000 miles away, but the question they ask or just the fact that they're asking it could get a reaction that I would have never gotten or never seen if that person wasn't present in that sense.
Right.
Right. That makes sense. Yep. And I have a really hard I have a hard time using the spirit box, even the Fent box sometimes, because it's like I'm so hesitant to take anything I hear like as a response to what I ask. You know, you have to be like, I almost feel like better if, because you know it always cycles. So I like to like kind of like really listen and observe, let it cycle a couple times so I can hear the radio shows that are on currently coming through, so I know it's not like somebody talking to me. You know what I mean? It's you have to be really careful with that stuff. And as much as I love using it, I think you have to be responsible, you know, and really be careful with it.
You know what you mentioned?
Sorry. No, you can go ahead.
Go, you're the guest.
Oh, okay. So, you know, I think with the Estes, I had one incredible session at that same villa that we're talking about, where my wife was under for maybe 35 minutes, which this might be the longest time I've kept somebody under at one time. But I had so much information come through that without knowing any of the history of the location, I was able to actually pinpoint the entity or the person I was speaking to based off of the information that they gave me. So and it wasn't just one of the situations where like maybe one or two of the things lined up and I could like say, I was probably that guy. I mean, everything from where they were from to what they did for a job to when they were living in the house to their name matched up. So like for me,
that's so cool.
It's hard for me to even debunk that because you know, Josie was in that one. It's hard for me to debunk that because it's like I didn't have any of this information and somebody just gave it all to me, and then I found out who it was from the information given. It's hard for me to even figure out how I could approach debunking that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and I have the same thing with my Fent box, because every once in a while, like, well, every time I've turned it on, one of the first things I hear come through is, "Hey, Goose." I'm like, okay, like nobody is saying Goose on the radio. I mean, I don't think so. Maybe they are, but it's hard to debunk that when you're like something in there is having like a personal, like close relationship with me, like a friendship. So when I turn it on, they're like, "Okay, I'm here. What's up?"
Yeah.
And I would love to say it's my grandpa, but I don't think my grandpa would call me Goose. Maybe he does. Maybe he's around me and he knows that's what my all my friends and family.
He knows that's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I keep wanting to sing "In the Air" tonight because of his like the background.
Oh, the background.
Leave me alone.
No, you mentioned that your wife is really good at the Estes method, and I really think that is a thing. It's been proven that men and women hear different frequencies. And that's another reason why I'm such a fan of using that method, because I feel like whoever is listening is given the message the way that they're supposed to hear it. And some people just hear things a lot easier than others, but I definitely think that it has something to do with the frequencies. Like maybe if you were trying a different device, then you might be better at it because you can hear the lower frequencies, you know, but
for some reason, when she asks me to do stuff when I come home, I can't hear that frequency. So I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, see?
There it is. It's not selective hearing. It's like
it's the frequency range. I'm not picking up on. So it's you know, it's science.
It's like, sorry, honey, I'm just not in tune with you. I'm not picking up what you're laying down.
My ears aren't hearing you. Sorry.
That's how you get punched in the face.
They're physically incapable. So Marvin wants to know if you've ever brought anything home with you after an investigation.
No, and like I always say, I would hate to follow me for a day. I have a feeling that if something has attached or does attach, they are going to be sick of me after a day because it's a show even for me with the camera off. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way because like if somebody were filming me like when I'm at work driving in my van by myself every day, some of the shit like I talk to my GPS, we have full length conversations. I mean, it's just especially like with those days where I'm like I only have a few deliveries and setups, but they're like far between. Like today when I was all the way out in Warren and like all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm singing, I'm talking scenarios, like putting out little plays like in the van. I told my wife like I should videotape this. People would either think it's hilarious and it would do
Right.
well,
or they're going to try and admit you somewhere.
Right, exactly. They're going to think like this guy's like smoking way too much meth or something. You know,
But
in
if
the
you're-
meantime, I'd probably be
We're
in
gonna
the
catch him
meantime,
going
I'd
by
probably
down the
get,
street.
like, fired for
Yeah,
filming
you
content in a work vehicle.
for sure be fired. But you never know. I mean, you got millions of
But-
followers on TikTok. Who knows? There's got to be millions of spirits that would want to follow you around.
I mean, here's
Yep.
the thing, though. With the people at TikTok, they don't have to deal with me 24/7. They get me in doses. I feel like when you jump into that 24/7 range, it kind of changes the dynamic. You're like, all right, this guy was good for about 4 hours. Now I'm sick.
Right. Hey, yeah, I've reached my capacity.
What's wrong with Ray? Like he's
I
getting
don't
secret
know.
messages,
He's getting a new
Is that it?
frequency.
getting a new frequency. What's the frequency, Kenneth? Yeah, what's going on, Ray?
He's got us on mute.
I can't hear anything. Hold on. I just
It's
lost my
the
headphones.
frequency.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
we got to use
frequency.
sign language.
I could hear it come through my computer, but it sucks. So you guys go ahead. Let me fix this real quick.
Well, it's 8:44. Heisenberg.
Do you have anything that you would like to plug today?
I'll be at Goatman's Bridge tomorrow night on TikTok. You can watch that live.
On TikTok, you could watch it live. Do not go there.
I know.
I got your
please
back.
don't go. And then I'll be at MadCon obviously next week. So if you're planning on going there, I will see you there. And I'll be investigating Friday and Saturday night. So I think most of those tickets have been bought already. But if
Mhm.
not, buy them.
I think there's some left for Friday night.
Yeah, go buy those.
But yeah, those, I mean that's about it. Every week I am going somewhere new. So
All right, do you have a kind of a time for like one more deep question before you have to hop off? Because I know you're losing light over there too.
no, you're good. You're good. I've got my other
Okay.
phone as a flashlight now.
Okay, cool. so Rebecca Kirschbaum wants to
The
know.
one
She has
and
a hard
only.
question. What's your bottom
She's
line
a bit
as
of a
ghost hunter?
TikToker.
Mhm.
What's your bottom line as a ghost hunter? The most important takeaway from an investigation?
So
And then she expounds that she wants to know from all of us.
okay.
Okay, so you start, Kalani.
So for me, I think a lot of people have the intent of proving haunted or not, which I always say for me isn't really why I'm out there, because I've been to Waverly Hills 4 times in the past year. 2 times were incredibly active. 2 times I would have gotten more activity at the 7-Eleven down the road. But
Yeah.
with that being said, I don't like doing the haunted or not label, because I have a feeling there's so many environmental conditions that play into energy and why things can be active or why things aren't active. So for me, it's not that. For me, it's almost just compiling more and more personal experience and evidence gained from these different places. And apart from that, it's experiencing and living out the history. Because like a lot of these
Yeah.
places have some of the darkest, most tumultuous histories out of any of the places in America. But there is a level of respect with that. But it's like me telling you, well, this is how many people died at Gettysburg compared to standing on the grass at Gettysburg. I mean, there's just a different emotional component and empathetic component to that. So for me, it's not about proving that spirits exist or that the paranormal is real. It's almost just providing more and more opportunities for the experiences that initially got me into this to happen for me, and to continue to let people kind of join me on that journey.
Very cool.
That seemed like almost the perfect answer. That was
Like,
pretty
how are
good.
we supposed to follow that?
Right.
What
Let's
he said.
Heisenberg. Let's Heisenberg go
Yeah.
next.
Oh, dude, man, I feel like the kid that wasn't paying attention in class. What are we doing?
What's your bottom
No,
line? Why do you ghost hunt? What's your biggest takeaway?
I don't really think about it. I just do.
What
That's fair.
draws you to it then? What draws
What
you
draws me
to
to
it?
it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I invited you and you just want to hang out with me all the time. You have an interest, but I think you already know what you believe. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just
Right.
and I know as a group, like as our group Dark Alley, we're not setting out to prove anything. We
No,
all
we're not.
have our own beliefs.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just like Kalani said, we're about the experience. We're about
It's about hanging out
kind
with
of
people too, man.
reliving,
Right.
having that connection to the history of the buildings is really super important. Whether it's a place that's been like had a horrible, just disgusting past, or a place like Madison where there's like so many different levels of things. You had a lot of happiness, you have a lot of safe, good feelings, but you also have like the crazy town area. I mean, and experiencing all of that in different levels is amazing for me. I already know what I believe. I believe ghosts are real. I believe spirits are real. I believe there's different levels of spirits and hauntings. But I'm not going to put anything. I mean, personally, I'll never put anything on like any social media or share it out. And like, this is ghost evidence. I don't care, because you always leave yourself open for what's the word I'm looking for?
Criticism.
Scrutiny.
Oh,
Yeah,
scrutiny.
criticism. And I don't care what other people think.
Exactly.
Now, if people want to tag along and experiencing what I'm experiencing, hands down, that's amazing, awesome. I'm glad to share that with you. So, but yeah, it's just the experience. I mean, I know what I believe already. I don't care if other people believe it or not, and if they do, or if they're on the fence and they want to join us and see what happens, awesome.
Exactly, and that's the difference. There's one thing I love what you do, Kalani. I love how you involve people. I love, bringing people to investigations. I love going and meeting new people at different places. But there's a difference between letting people tag along and having a good time and presenting yourself as an expert and I know everything and, that sort of thing. And I think that that's why people resonate so well with people like you instead of people who are going on there saying, I know everything that there is to know. I'm an expert. You can watch and learn from me. Whereas you're like, let's have fun together.
But I have a certificate that says I'm an expert.
I got one of those off Wish too.
Nice.
I printed mine off of Microsoft Word.
I printed mine off
in a
of
nice little
Shop,
frame, but it was like scaled down wrong. So instead of being 8 inches, it was like 2.5, and I felt like the receiving end of a bad picture.
Ball size.
I printed mine out when I was like 10 on Print Shop on a dot matrix printer.
No, my thing with people that say they're experts, it's like, I mean, if that's what gets you off at night is having a title next to your name that you've given yourself, by all means do it. I mean, I'm not here to tell you that I think you're full of crap. I mean, there's plenty of people that'll do it for me that I don't have to touch that. But it's like, how can you be an expert in a field that's entire theory, right?
Right.
There isn't much factual basis, scientifically speaking, in terms of quantitative evidence that you can really build a expertise on, right? It'd be like I'm an expert at being a charlatan, right? I mean, you could be an expert con artist, but I mean, does that make you an expert or a scam? I don't know.
Right.
I do think that demonologist is a different kind of thing, because that's the study of demons, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's really it's more of a theology than it is like a paranormal thing,
right?
I mean,
like you can be an expert
demonology.
Yeah, you can be an expert in the study of demons and the different types of demons and their origins and all of that. Like that's the thing,
well, and see,
right?
I'll tell you where I have the biggest, I guess, inner conflict is I feel that so much of the paranormal has been linked to religious standards and religion as an entirety, which I do think there is a point where religion and science do meet, but I don't think it's at the basis of what the majority of the paranormal content for the past 30 years has been built upon. So it's hard for me to draw this correlation between somebody claiming to be a demonologist, because I mean, that's all based off of somebody else's thought and theory on how they interpreted certain sections of this, that, or the other. So who's to say that that person wasn't wrong? You know what I mean? It's all built off of the interpretations and perceptions of man. So how can we determine that everything that this person has been taught is real, right? So I mean, even if you break it down, if you go to Southeast Asia and you're trying to communicate with those ghosts in English, in trying to categorize it as angels and demons and good and evil, I mean, good and evil are just perceptions, right? What's good and evil to you is going to be different than what's good and evil to me, and that's going to change for every single person across the globe. So I feel like so much of the paranormal has been clouded with this idea that it has to be angels, has to be demons, it has to be good or evil. There is no just existing. And I think, like, for me, I really want to get to Southeast Asia to do a lot of investigating, because I feel like that's an area where you can kind of disconnect between the religious approach to the paranormal and kind of focus more on the scientific slash more evidence-based approach.
Right. I mean, I think there's something to be said. You know, a lot of times I'm not a fan of religion, but there's a lot of times where a certain thing will be prevalent in multiple religions. And that to me is when it's like, okay, so I'm going to believe this a little bit more. You know, when there's caveman drawings about it, and there's Native American stories about it, and it's in Catholicism, and it's in, you know what I mean? When all of those things are talking about that one thing, then you're like, okay, so maybe they're onto something.
That guy back here.
Wow.
Sasquatch.
Right.
I mean, so many cultures in so many different locations around the world have seen a beast that you could describe as Sasquatch.
No, they haven't.
It's kind of the same thing. Just different names for different. What's that? What'd you say?
Stop fooling around.
Yeah, and
so anyways.
But yes, I think, was it Bump in the Night Society said something about everything's a demon nowadays. Everything's a demon. That drives me absolutely bonkers. I try to explain to people, like, look, at some point, they were people as well. Okay. And if you are an egotistical asshole when you're alive, you're probably going to be an egotistical asshole when you're dead. So, like, we have to just assume that they're going to have different personalities. And just because somebody's an asshole or gets crabby with you asking the same fucking questions every night doesn't make them a demon. Like,
which, if I'm going to be honest, if I have somebody asking me what my damn name is 365 nights out of the year, I'm going to be pissed. I don't talk to an asshole out of just annoyance.
Yeah. And you're going to tell them to get out because you don't want to deal with the same shit every night. You know, maybe just try asking different questions or try a different approach or something instead of just getting angry about it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's such a big pet peeve of mine.
Oh, well, Jen, I can always count on Jen for the good comments.
Right? Another amazing TikToker.
Going back to the religion, though, and its effect on the paranormal, I mean, that's why I got into the paranormal in the first place, is because shit was happening in my house, and I couldn't tell my mom and dad because we were involved with a church where, as we're talking about, everything is demonic. If it's not explained by the Bible as something holy, and it's not human, you're either dealing with a demonic possession or you're just going crazy.
Yeah.
There was no other options. There was no just regular old, ghosts trying to figure out who the hell you are and why you're in their house.
Right. There's no residual spirits. There's no elementals. Yeah, there's nothing. Right. It's just.
So here's me at like 13 years old under my cover with a flashlight reading Hans Holzer and Lloyd Auerbach and, all these old timey writers about spirits and what it all meant. And then, it kind of died off when I got a little bit older because I was more into like, drinking and going out with friends and girls and stuff like that. But you know, then eventually here I'm watching home, and I'll say one good thing about the shows. You know, I'm sitting at home watching Ghost Hunters before my wife and I got married. We were living together. I'm like, man, that I didn't know you can actually like go do this all the time, like if you wanted to. And she's like, go do it. So I joined the group and I started doing it. And now I'm back like to where I was at 13, like just trying to figure it all out for myself.
Right.
But yeah, going back to it's just like religion plays such a crazy. Yeah,
Well,
baby
I'll
who's
say with the
reason older, of
shows-
course.
That's not what he had underneath the blankets.
Well, I mean, you know,
The shows have made it more mainstream, and like
Yeah.
for me,
just read it
I
for the
think
articles.
that's where I really kind of hang my hat. Is I've now introduced this field and this subject matter to millions of people that would have never seen it possibly without my content.
Right.
So it's like,
Mhm.
for me, this was something for a lot of people that have been doing it for many years. It was almost taboo in a lot of your circles. Where that's something that I am proud of, is how many people that I brought into it, not only younger, but, you know, across the board in age. And I've
Right.
given people almost a community where they don't have to feel like they're being judged for saying, you know, I see this, or this is happening to me. Or so, you know, at the end of the day, if I could say I had a goal, it would just be to expand my community to where I put this in front of more people, to where they're not having to go through this idea that everything's a demon and everything's bad and,
Yeah.
and
Right.
the world blowing up. So that's probably where I hang my hat at night.
And then the
Yeah.
other great thing too, which you might not even think about this aspect of it, but you know, I am a volunteer at Madison Seminary. So I see what it does for these buildings for people to bring attention to them. Look, I'm a firm believer that any building that was in sepia tone pictures, we should be doing everything we can to save them. And, you know, these buildings use the paranormal to pay for the historical. You know, Adam said that, and I say it all the time. But by going to these places and bringing attention to them and telling people where they're at and telling them, like, hey, did you know you could pay to rent the building? Then you're helping save all of these buildings as well. And that's super important to nerdy
Yeah.
people like me.
And there's a lot of amazing owners that I've met through the years.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or, I mean, I've been doing it longer than a year, but the content portion. But then there's some that have like tried to charge me more because I'm making content there. So like I shy away from these locations.
Right.
So I mean, it is getting to the point where there are some people that are trying to look at the paranormal as a business venture, which I would kind of warn you to shy away from, because it's a very large undertaking.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have so many people involved with that picture to make it a true success. And I feel
Right.
like some people just see an old building that needs work done, that, you know, has a history, and they see money signs and they jump for it. And then all of a sudden they're in a deep hole of debt, trying to get any avenue they can to get out. And it's just like,
Yep.
you know, that's not why you need to be doing this. If you're doing it for preservation, that's great. And if this is that
Right.
means of preservation, that's absolutely fine. But don't look at a venue and be like, this is going to be a great way for me to retire in Florida in 20 years. Like,
Right.
no, that's not what it's
No.
about.
No.
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 If
there-
people
it just doesn't
only
happen.
understood, like there's so many times where, you know, there's 27 pipes burst in the seminary in one winter. Like it is not all sunshine and rainbows and just,
Yeah.
you know, throwing up piles of money in the back house. Like it is so much work and so much money.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's
Madison's
so awesome at the same time.
Madison
If you're doing
Seminary,
it
where in winter the walls are made of ice,
right.
literally.
And in the summer, the walls are melting.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
Like,
are the
literally.
ghost hunters. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. I've been to some hot, I mean, when you're hiking up flights of stairs in the summertime,
Yeah.
I mean, it's miserable. People don't realize some of the extent that some of us go through just to provide them stuff to watch on weeknights. But
Right. We were talking
Yeah.
about that when you cut out at the beginning. Like people don't see the behind the scenes stuff and how much you do. They think, oh, he just goes into a place with a camera. Like, no, there's so much more to it.
I mean, like I work about 80 hours a week on average. I mean, I work a lot more now than I ever have in my life, but it's easy because it's something I enjoy.
Right.
But I mean, it's a lot of time, money, effort. I mean, it's at points where, you know, if I get done investigating at 6 o'clock in the morning, I sleep in the back of my car for 4 hours, and then I'm driving to the next location 6 hours away.
Right.
That's just the nature of the beast.
That's a glamorous life.
Yes, it is very.
There's a lot of people that envy my life, but it's like I said, there's amazing parts of it, and there's parts of it that I don't want to bore you with, but suck.
Yeah.
And that's something that from the outside looking in, I didn't really expect or understand, but when you're in the moment, it kind of changes for you. But I mean, I will still say the pros outweigh the cons. It's just one of those things that it takes adjusting to.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think I could do it. To be honest with you, I don't think. I mean, I'm good with like a location a month. You know, if I could.
It shifts because you know when you're investigating as a hobby, right? When let's say you're only doing once a month, I mean that once a month you're pouring everything you've got, whether that be money, time, or just energy into this one spot because you know this is your one opportunity this month to investigate.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I've had to kind of shift it into it's my job now. So, I mean, it's still fun. It's still something I enjoy, but at the same time, I have to approach it differently because it's work. So, you know, it's just something, the passion's still there, the fun's still there, but it's not as easy as it used to be where I could just get gung-ho for one location a month and be cool with it, which if that's where you stay and that's where you are and that's where you're content, stay there. You know, I'm having to go to 3, 4, 5 locations a week, which is great on paper, but it's something you really have to get used to because anyone that does this, you know, that next day after a big investigation, you feel horrible.
The hangover.
I mean, the hangover is real, but that's something that it's almost like because I'm drinking so much of the tea that my body doesn't have the hangover anymore. We just keep on drinking the tea and keep trucking along. But that was something that in the beginning was tough.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. So just out of curiosity, like, I mean, you're constantly filming, you're constantly going, but like, you know, TikTok, how like ballpark, how long did it take you to like work on a single video? Like how long is that a lot of time involved in like a single video? Like editing wise and putting it together?
Not a ton, but a lot of it's because I kind of have a process that I know works, that I kind of follow. And I mean, every now and then you still have to keep up with trends and new things that come into the platform and make it apply.
Right.
But I mean, I think the biggest chunk of time probably comes from planning out, you know, your next step, taking content that you've already created and actually putting that to use for you. And I was doing YouTube videos every week for the longest time. So I had I have a hat on, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think he just sees the band going because of the darkness and behind.
But
have a good
you know,
night, Jeff.
It's not a ton to edit those short form videos, but when I use higher production value equipment to do it, I mean, that takes a little bit more time to edit and such.
Sure.
But the biggest thing for me is the volume of which I'm doing it. Because I mean, every day I have a new post or a couple posts. Some days I post 4 times. Some days I post twice. I don't really have a rhyme or reason. It's kind of when I think of something, I make it and do it. Yeah. But it is a very big creative drain because you're just constantly having to think and brainstorm and kind of reevaluate and a lot of analytical research going into why is this working? Why is this not working? I mean, there's a lot to it outside of just the content. And I think that's what people don't really get. And it's like, there's been a lot of people that have been making YouTube videos for 25 years and they've gone up 2,000 subscribers, which is great. I mean, you've gone up, but you know, that's the biggest thing is kind of having that self-reflection to determine why is something working or why is it not, and making those proper adjustments. And that's where it comes into, is this my job or is this a hobby that I don't really care what happens with it?
Right.
Right.
There's so much psychological stuff that needs to be evaluated when you talk about videos and when you talk about
yeah.
content and what you're going to post and what should be next. Like, there's so much to it that people don't understand. Like, you don't just make a funny video and post it. Like, there's so much thought behind it and so much research.
Well, and I'll tell you this with the paranormal, what's really tough is if you're not into this full force, you know, you're not going to understand what evidence would look like or what specific things in certain locations would look like. So you have to use a broader stroke to hit a broader audience, which I think that's where a lot of people struggle, is they get so honed in on trying to prove the existence of spirits rather than trying to encapsulate the history, that they miss a lot of those metrics, because unless you're an investigator, you're not going to know what half of the crap that we're talking about even means, which is fine.
That's such
but
a
when
good
you're
point.
making content, you're not going to put out, you know, look at my REM pod going off. Unless you know what a REM pod is, you're just going to see a shit can on the floor with lights going off, and you're going to be like, well, I'm scrolling past this. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Right.
So I think for my approach, it's more about the history and bringing people into my live streams comparative to just saying, look at this evidence. And I made a video the other day about people with orbs, because I always have people come up to me and they show me this picture, which sometimes I crush people. Sometimes I let them, have it depending on the day, depending on how much sass I got.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of times
he doesn't appreciate you laughing, Ray.
I guess not. Apparently somebody on StreamYard believes in orbs. Like, we're shut him down.
They're like, fuck this guy.
We're back.
Oh,
So
there we go.
orb must have got mad somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're like, StreamYard must have somebody that believes in orbs and just like, yep, pause.
But no, so I mean, it's like you tell people that and they get upset with you, but they want your honest opinion. So like me, I'm very honest. But there are times where if somebody's getting comfort from this or some sort of gravity with a situation from this, then I'll just let it stay, because that's not my place to be the expert. But you know, it's a field that it's because more people can relate to that. More people can relate to shitting their pants.
Yeah.
But I think that's where a lot of people miss the mark, is they think they have to have the best evidence or the craziest stuff happening, where it's more about personality and being an entertainer, but keeping the integrity of what you're doing as a paranormal investigator, which I think a lot of people struggle with that capacity of it. But if you can hone in on that, you will be very successful. What's up, Marshall?
Yeah. And you're right too. Like, people want to know the history of these buildings as well.
Yeah.
So make a couple videos just talking about the history. Talk about the things that people say haunt the building. You know, whatever. People like to hear that kind of stuff.
Usually the stories are a lot more interesting than the investigations.
Right.
A lot of times it's like talking to Sherwin-Williams paint on the wall.
Right.
And that's what I feel. But that's real investigating. You're not going to get something every time the camera comes on. But if they're at least getting some information and getting that scare factor of this is what makes it haunted, or this is what supposedly makes it haunted, then there's a component there that you've at least touched without having to touch your investigation.
Right. There's, you know, we do public hunts at the seminary, and it's kind of the same thing, because like you said, sometimes buildings are quiet, you know, sometimes things aren't happening. So there's that fine line between, you know, wanting to lead an investigation and then realizing that, like, hey, it's kind of quiet. So you have to so instead of just staring at your REM pod, maybe tell a story about a time when your REM pod went off, or, you know, tell a story about the room that you're in or whatever. That's what investigations are boring.
They are.
You know, you just
9 times out of 10 they're boring.
Yeah. And at least you have those lights that are in there, so you can at least see the room that you're in. But a lot of times when people post their investigations, it's like literally just a dark room, and you'll see like a green light across the room from their K2 or something. You know what I mean?
That's supposed to mean something to nobody that knows what's going on.
And then people will be like, I don't understand why people aren't watching my lives. Well, try turning a light on so people can see what the fuck they're looking at. And then try talking.
Well, it's also another popular
Yeah.
It's also another popular misconception is having to investigate in the complete darkness. It's just,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Thanks, George. Haven't seen you in a while.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. And I think,
Yeah.
if people want to be jealous, then let them, because you're kicking ass at it, and that's all that matters.
You got
Luckily,
a
I've got
formula
a large
that
boot,
works.
so I've got enough room to keep kicking asses. So we'll just keep trucking along.
Do it.
Do it.
Love it. But
But
I know we're a little over, sorry, but do you want to talk about your Patreon before you go?
yeah, so the Patreon, if you're wondering why that's even a deal, it's $3 a month. So I try to make it really affordable, but it literally gives you live access replays to all the lives that I do. So like, because TikTok, you can't rewatch what I do, which has been a gripe
Right.
for a long time. So you
Yeah.
can rewatch all my live TikTok replays. I'll post them on there. And then I also do a Patreon exclusive live every week. So only the people on Patreon will be in the chat and only they can watch. So it's made it a lot better because there's no trolls. Everybody in there is invested in what's going on. And it's almost like you're getting an intimate investigation without having to pay all the money to go investigating with me. It's been a beautiful change up for me, and it's given me not only does it help support me and what I'm doing, but it also gives you guys legitimate content that you can watch on your own time without having to tune into my live. So everyone that's gotten on the Patreon loves the Patreon. So we're going to keep pushing out content on there.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure I brought it up, because a lot of people talk about how much they love it. So
for sure,
that's good.
That's really a really good platform for people who do what we do.
Absolutely.
And to eliminate the
be able to
troll.
do it the way we want to.
Yeah,
right.
That's such a good point. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm so used to you putting up the comments
Right.
now.
Sorry.
I've often wondered if we should do a Patreon for the show.
I didn't even know what Patreon was until last year.
No.
Well, so like if you guys want an idea, you could do like a pre or post show with somebody to give them like kind of like an exclusive behind the scenes. I mean, it's really helpful in giving them a way to support you, but also not feeling like you're just asking for money. Because for me, I hate people that just panhandle online. That's not the point of having a supporter. The point of having a supporter is you've given them something that they enjoy and they deem worthy of their money. So you're giving them something in return, which Patreon lets me feel that way and lets me continue to give them something exclusive. It's a really good way to kind of give back to them while they can also help support you. So that's why I've kind of really fallen in love with Patreon.
Yeah, it's like a business transaction amongst close friends. You know what I mean?
And $3 a month is nothing.
No, I mean, that's like not going to Starbucks tomorrow. Half of that would be a monthly Patreon.
Right. For 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to go eat cheese and be depressed in my room. Bye, besties.
What kind of cheese?
I like the way
what
of
kind
thinking.
of cheese, though?
Except for cheese. I like cheese.
But Kalani, we're like super excited to meet you finally. Or for me, it'll be the first time me and
I was going to say,
to meet you.
excuse me.
Yeah.
So you're going to be, Kalani's going to be at MadCon 5 next weekend. We're excited to see him. Dude, thank you so much for being on. It's been a blast.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Sorry I'm not at home, but I
tried
that's fine.
Man.
Hey, for being in a car, this is probably the best interview we've had. Like, with somebody who's been traveling.
It was it was very smart to park right next to the cell phone tower. That worked out great.
The cell tower changed everything.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll be safe. Talk to you soon.
All right. See you next
man.
weekend.
Safe travels. Be careful getting to where you're going.
Yep.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye. So that was a super cool
much
guy.
Fun. Oh my God. I'm so excited for you guys to meet him.
I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see everybody that I already know and meet all the new people that I'm going to meet. It was great interview, and I'm really pumped up for MadCon.
Weekend. Same. Yeah. He's super fun, but also like very smart, which is a good mix, you know.
Thank you, Josie. Yeah, Kalani was that was a great one. You're welcome, Dylan. Thank you so much.
Yep.
So that was Kalani, and now the part for the pair hang. If you guys have any questions for us, if you're still on and watching now that Kalani's gone, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we just talk about food and the bullshit that we've been going through this week. But
oh my gosh, let me tell you guys something. Did I tell you guys about Easton seeing the guy on top of my house?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. So we get home. We're standing outside. It's just the two of us. And we're like looking up at the stars. And I'm talking to him about that thing where people can like manifest aliens. Anyways, normal mom and kid stuff. But
Sure.
then all of a sudden he's looking around at the sky and he goes, "Do you see that guy on top of the house?" And I'm
What?
like, no,
No.
no, bud.
Even
No,
if I do, I don't.
Yeah, no. So I was like, just move around a little bit, see if maybe it was a tree or something, so he like moves like 5 feet to the right, moves 5 feet to the left. And then he's like, "Nope, it's a guy on top of the roof. He's right where the peak
the
is."
hell?
He's like, you really don't see him?" And I'm like, "No, bud." And he's like, "I really feel like I should go inside now." And I was like, "Okay, let's go." That was the end of it.
You need to tell that guy to get off our roof, man.
Right. Like, what's he doing there?
I'd be like, "Hey, while you're up there, it's been a while since we've been able to clean out the
clean the fucking gutters while you're up there.
Right. If you're gonna haunt us, be useful.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
super weird.
That is weird.
That kid, man.
So I had my first case with the Dominion Ministry that lasted 2 days.
Yeah.
It's just the lady was she had some personal problems that I think were exacerbating what she felt she was experiencing, and I think it was more of a cry for help than it was actual stuff going just because of what was going on. So it didn't end great, but I dealt with it the best I could, and they were awesome about giving me help. But yeah, she had claims of demons, but I made the mistake of giving her my personal phone number to text me, and it was like nonstop for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm finally like, listen, I don't think I put her in touch with a local demonologist that lived here in Ohio, but he's like, dude, I think it's what you're saying. She has some. If there's any demons, it's
personal demons.
her personal inner demons that she needs to deal with. So I reached out to somebody the person that referred me to her, or referred her to me, and he was thankful that I let him know what I felt, and they were able to get her some help. So I guess in the end, she at least got help from somebody.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's good.
So yeah, it was a little bumpy road for the first residential type personal case.
Yeah.
But you got through it.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what the bulk of them will end up being, unfortunately. But we've had those cases where people have just watched way too many episodes of Ghost Adventures and just want to have a ghost hunting party at their house. But
yeah,
my kid's seeing stuff. Well, you just let them watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer last night. So that's what they're showing us. It's just I don't know. It is what it is, but it's something I know as a team, Dark Alley is not something that they want to be involved with, but it's I'm completely respectful of that. But for me, it's I kind of want to help if I can.
You didn't want to do residentials with us.
What's that?
You didn't want to do residentials with us, if I remember.
No, because I didn't. It's not. No, I didn't because I know.
I know it's a different thing, dude.
I know. Well, I know. I just know as a group, I respected that. I'm not going to force all of you guys to be a part of that. A lot of us don't have the time to get involved like that. So it's it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I closed the door on residentials. I don't even remember any that we've attempted to do. I've just let it go.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about half the time, man.
If somebody was like, "Hey, my house is haunted. Do you want to come investigate it?" I'd be like, okay. But if somebody was like, "Hey, I need your help. I need you to help me get rid of something, or I need you to help me figure out what this is." No.
Yeah.
I don't want to help. But if you're like down to investigate your house, I'll do that. But I don't want the responsibility of having to be the one to help somebody. Because what if I can't?
So for instance, I have a personal friend that I'm really close with. Okay. him and his wife just bought a house and they have kids. And it's not something that they're afraid of. They're not, they know it's not like demonic stuff. They really think it's just the lady who lived there before them,
Right.
who happened to pass away in the house while she lived there. And he's just like, if you guys could just come and like check it out and just like, confirm what we're feeling and seeing, and that would be perfect. He's not wanting us to come in and do like a cleansing and get rid of stuff.
Right.
And they just want validation, and that's cool.
Right.
And I'm sure the rest of whoever wants to go from Dark Alley, or if it's just the three of us want to go up there, it's actually closer to you. It's up in Ashtabula. That would be something that we could do.
That's so close to me.
Yeah. So
cool.
it's just a house investigation. He said him and his wife, he's like, dude, we'll have a barbecue and then we'll get a room and you guys can have the house for the night.
Now you're talking, man.
Right.
That's
that's
what
kind of residential. I'm in for it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that kind, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're like, just investigate the house.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm saying.
I know him really close. I worked with him for years. We became close friends. He was in my wedding, so it's like a guy that I trust him. I know if he's telling me that it's some weird stuff happening and they just want validation, I'm all down for that. And he is an amazing barbecue guy. So
yeah, that's the that's the icing on the cake, man. And you're gonna cook for us? All right, cool.
Yeah, and he'll cook a lot of food.
Yeah, I just don't want to be responsible for helping people. I don't even cleanse my own house. I'm not going to go to somebody's house and try to fix something.
Right. I'm not even responsible for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, you're asking the wrong person for help. I don't even help myself.
But see with the house here, like with my house and my family, I really like, and my wife tells us me all the time, she like believes in this stuff and she doesn't want anything to do with it. So she knows that
she sees stuff.
Right. And she said, I cast a personal bubble that they cannot penetrate. So even if I tried, there'd be nothing here at this house because they're not getting through her bubble.
That's good.
Sorry. Her force field is strong. There's no weakness. They're not going to fly down the shaft and hit the generator and blow up the whole Death Star type thing.
I knew right where you're going with that, man.
Yeah, thanks.
I was like, you're going Star Wars.
Yep. Which I should be going Star Trek because today is National Star Trek Day, but
Nobody watches Star Trek.
Fuck you.
Kimmel does.
My dad used to.
I love Star Trek.
My dad used to watch it.
I'm really into that new one, Strange New Worlds.
I'll say I did watch Voyager.
Voyager was cool. I love the new ones like Discovery. I've watched all that. I love Strange New Worlds, which is with Captain Pike, like the guy who captained the Enterprise before Kirk. But you see Kirk and Spock is on the ship, so it's like a throwback, but like it's new stories. It's like, I think it's what Gene Roddenberry originally wanted when he made Star Trek being realized finally. Not the season-long dramas, but like each episode's a different world and a different alien. It just keeps it interesting. But I'm done being a nerd, cool. So sorry.
So the library in Madison has is it called a bridge? That's where you like fly the ship from?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have a bridge club. But it's not like bridge like old people play. It's an actual like they set it up like a spaceship and everybody has a different job and all the kids have to work together to solve a different mission every week when they go to this bridge club.
See, I'm sitting there going, yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do that.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Yeah. I'm down.
Like, do you need chaperones? Because I'll do communications.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it got so bad for a while. I was actually a member of a local group, a clan that were, Klingons. That's pretty bad. So
nice.
And I have like a Klingon English to Klingon dictionary. I was trying to learn the language.
Oh my
god! I got a little worried when you said clan. So
yeah,
no, not that clan.
No, she knew that, but she's like, oh my god.
Yeah, so it's like but the thing is, they did a lot of fundraisers, so I thought that was kind of a cool angle. They got up, fully geared up in all their Klingon gear. They had the big wigs with the big wrinkled forehead. They look like serious, like real Klingons. I never got that far, but they go and do like what they call blood wars, which was basically they'd go to like donation areas and like whatever clan got more people to donate blood is the one who won the war. So
Oh my
it's, you
God,
know,
that's kind of
stuff like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, you know, kind of a cool way to nerd out and still help people.
Right? I like that. I wish.
They go up against like local Starfleet groups and shit like that. So it was
My
fun.
God, that's
Bunch
so
of nerds
cool.
walking around with their Spock ears falling off their face.
Right?
Son of a bitch, you fell off again.
You gotta glue those things on, man.
Right.
That's cool.
So we're getting
Ugh.
into spooky season, guys. Are you excited? Halloween, fall coming right around the corner.
I can't wait for
Yeah.
daylight savings time. My favorite time of the year.
Are you being serious?
Where you feel like a vampire?
Am I
Yeah,
being
Like, get up
seasonal
and
depression. Like, that's what you look forward to?
Yep.
What'd she
the
say?
only time I see lights when I'm driving in my van and working.
Yeah, he said he loves it. I love
Right?
it.
He can't stand the summer when it's bright out until 9 p.m. He's like, this is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Here's what I'm fine with, like the 7:30 to 8 o'clock realm where it starts to get dark. Okay, that's fine. But like when we're like at the beginning of it, where it's like getting dark at like 5:30, and I'm just
Oh, that's my
Right?
favorite.
work. I'm like, fuck this, because when I left for work, it was dark.
I know, it's
I don't like
great.
it.
Right.
It
And then you
sucks.
get home from work and it's dark.
It's great.
No.
The night
I
like
can't
snuggles you, you know?
I mean,
That's
I
the way I
get it.
feel.
He's
What?
the king of darkness. I'll start calling him the king of darkness.
But
I mean,
I really do like daylight savings time, man. I don't like spring ahead. I like fall back.
I like the fall. I don't really like the time, but I like the fall. I think they just get rid of the time change. Just
I thought that we
be
were
dark at
going
5
to.
o'clock every day. I'd like that.
yeah. No.
No.
And I understand the original thought process behind it for farming communities, but those are few and far between now. So
Right.
Not where I grew up.
well, I'm saying now, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like even where I grew up, it's already starting to get developed into housing communities and warehouses that don't have any businesses to fill them. Just stuff.
Yeah.
Corn as far as the eye can see where I'm from.
There's
No
still spots
development.
in Manway. Yeah. There's still spots in Manway where there's a lot of field, but it's like the same, like maybe 2 or 3 prominent families, and that's really about it
Right.
anymore. Where
Yeah.
everybody used to have at least some kind of farm.
Mhm.
Whether it was a few cows and a small cornfield, they had something, but
Right.
now it's just like one major potato farm and one major corn producer, and then really that's about it. So,
This is kind of off the subject, but I want to get your guys' opinion about it because I hate it.
Okay.
Because I was going down Market Street here the other day, and all these
Mhm.
beautiful houses are just businesses now.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, like there were once houses, now there's like 3 or 4 businesses inside of them. Or
Mhm.
well, you know what? I'm glad. Yeah, that pisses me off because that's what they did to fucking Farnham Manor.
Mm.
They sold it. They tore down the carriage house, which was, okay, yeah, it was kind of falling apart anyways, but it was still good bones. They could have fixed it up and preserved it. It's just the
Mhm.
whole ownership over that whole deal was just bullshit. And they tore down the carriage house. They cut down the blessing tree. I believe they tore
no wonder
out
we had all
a
this
lot of
shit going on now.
yeah. They tore down they tore down or they tore out a lot of the original historical shit from the main part of the building. And then they built this big, huge house-looking office complex off the backside of it. So it's like what you said. It's like basically a business strip mall that they made. It just pisses me off because that place was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally, Kathy. It really sucks. Oh, the tree went down. Okay, well, never mind then. I was wrong about the tree.
Still,
But they did tear down the carriage house, which to me was one of the most active areas. Yeah.
I never got to go there.
It was cool. I mean, I only went there once, and actually, it was only because Kathy and Tony invited me to be with their group. It was a blast. And the main house was pretty interesting. I had a lot of weird feelings and some experiences. But I think Kathy knows out in that house, that carriage house. My first walkthrough was with a psychic friend of ours. And it was just so weird because walking through, she's kind of getting a feeling, just kind of talking out what she's feeling. And we're walking up these crappy old steps. I was scared to death, but so I was certainly making sure I saw every step as I was walking up. I was being very, very conscious. And you get up and like the top floor, there's some rooms with, of course, somebody had put creepy dolls all over the place up there. And there's this little figure of a fisherman that was like kind of like burnt and like it was like melting. It was just really weird looking, but it was like on the railing, kind of towards the top of the steps. So we make our rounds. We're like, okay, this is weird. Some weird feelings. She's feeling a bunch of stuff. We go down and we kind of do a big circle around the bottom floor. So you start at the stairs that we just came down and we walked around. When we came around, we looked up the stairs and that fisherman figure was on the stairs 4 steps up.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what the I've never seen it. That's the only time I've seen maybe besides the time we were at Madison when that doll moved from the arm of the chair and sat down on the seat.
Yeah.
While we were investigating, that was the only time I've seen like physical manipulation of something I cannot explain. Because that fucking thing was at the top of the stairs on railing. None of us touched it.
Right.
We would have heard it if it was falling down the steps because it was a pretty hefty little thing.
Right.
But yeah, and then I was with Tony and Kathy later on that night. We were just kind of sitting there. Kathy was walking around feeling the things out. Tony was sitting down and him and I were running some EVPs, and that's where I got the craziest EVP I've ever gotten anywhere. Which I didn't even hear until we were playing it back. And I'm playing, because I bought one of those Panasonics that weren't the DDR 60s. It was like a newer version, but it still cost me like $150 and it ended up breaking after like 3 uses.
Nice.
But I'm like, I don't think this works as great as the DDR 60. But we're listening back to our session, and I see I didn't get anything. He's like, dude, go back. I'm like, what? So we would play it, and like, all you hear is like something about your girlfriend, and I'm so fucking bored. None of us said that. None of us would have ever said that. I'm like,
wow.
It's like one dude's like, I'm so fucking bored.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm like, holy crap! It was so loud, and it was not one of our voices. And it was like, holy shit. And like, normally with the DDR80, I've always been skeptical of those. I mean, I think they have people have gotten great evidence on them, but they're so sensitive. So it's like, sometimes I'm like, did you kind of hear what you think you hear it? And then you put the words up and it matched what you thought it was? Or did you actually hear something? Or it was an actual EVP. So I don't know,
Right.
but I've heard Adam's recordings and Resident Undeads that were spot on. I've heard Kathy and Tony's DDR80, they've caught, or 60, that they've caught amazing things on. But this was like a person's voice. There's no static to it whatsoever. It's like, I'm so fucking bored. Like, what the hell? Sorry. Sorry we're boring you. But I guess, you got to think from their point of view. If you're sitting there and people are just asking you questions over and over again, I'd be fucking bored too.
Right.
And you probably can't leave that carriage house because your spirit is stuck there.
He's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Like, oh, these fuckers again. I'm so fucking bored.
And then you're like pausing so long between questions. They're probably like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was what it was. So, somebody said, did he find his girlfriend yet? Because there was some story behind somebody. Tony, I can't remember the story. That's true. But somebody was waiting for the girlfriend. Something happened. I'm not. But yeah, did he find his girlfriend yet? And then a little boy's voice said, I'm so fucking bored. It's crazy.
That little boy, man. Soap in his mouth.
Right?
Right?
Dang.
But yeah, I'm pissed off. But to answer your question, Heisenberg, that pisses me off when they do that shit. I haven't seen it in Akron. I'm not sure what area you're talking about.
No, I'm just talking about just regular old homes that you don't talk about. That Market Street's got these beautiful old homes.
Yeah. No, I know what you're
That they
talking
just
about. Yeah.
divided into offices instead of keeping as one
Oh,
home.
okay. I gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of them like become like lawyer offices and
Yes.
insurance offices
Yes.
and kind of
Funeral homes for sure. They always turn
Yeah.
old mansions into funeral homes.
Yeah.
I guess I don't mind it if the fate of it would have been that it would have not been taken care of. If that makes sense. Like I'd rather
Yeah, I
have
understand what you're saying.
I'd rather have the outside
Right.
still be the same and maybe some things on the inside they keep them.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind when one business takes over. You know, like there's a lot of like antique stores and things like that
Yeah.
that will take over an old house, but they just
Mhm.
keep it the way it is. You
Right.
know, they
Yeah,
keep
no,
the
yeah, that makes
kitchen and then
sense,
they
yeah.
just, you know, they
Mhm.
display kitchen items in the kitchen. You know, like they
Right.
keep everything the way it is, so it's not so bad. But yeah,
So other people
I don't like
put
when
up
they're tearing.
walls.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, when they gut them out and like put freaking
Like cubicles and shit.
and yeah, like the fucking square office carpet, you put in by square by
Oh
square. That
God,
kind
yeah,
of it's horrendous.
yeah, that's
What did
terrible.
Tony just say?
Gluing it to the wood floor.
Right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of scared the shit out of us too. Well, Andrea and Sean Gilmore were there too, and I know they got some crazy stuff in the carriage house. I think that was the most active area for us that time. It was a pretty cool house, and I really hated seeing it gutted like that, and it seemed like so blasphemous.
Right. Yeah.
To regular people, they're just buildings, man. They don't have any meaning to them.
Right.
It's property.
Yep, just property.
Right.
It's another way to make money. But
Right.
sorry, I'm checking. Okay. Yeah, and that's true about a lot of the bigger name places too. Like they seem to be working on it for decades, and maybe they got a few windows in.
Mm-hmm.
The big preservation works that have been going on for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Or they got the
there's
windows
one.
in, but the roof's caved
And
in.
they're still
Right.
racking it in.
There,
Hold on one
there's
second.
one by us.
I lost my headphones again.
Oh my God.
Talk amongst yourselves. Hold on.
What
He's
is
annoying today.
happening?
I don't
Yeah,
know. He's annoying today.
Super annoying. Why do we even have him as a co-host?
I don't
we should
know.
just get rid of him.
Well, it's because he knows how to use the computers, and I don't.
I know how to use the computers now. We don't need him anymore.
All right, Kate, you want to join the show?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Kate will be on the show.
Fuck this.
Hey, welcome back.
I'm doing it the old-fashioned way with like my actual just regular speaker.
Whoa.
Yeah, right.
That's the way I always do it.
Right?
I keep losing the Bluetooth connection because I think my internet's jacked up.
Probably the sunspot.
Seriously, I was just gonna say, has anybody else's stuff been messed up? Like literally everything around me is messed up lately.
Yeah, like
And
I was
maybe
trying to
it's
get the show set
Mercury,
up.
Gatorade, whatever.
Yeah, Mercury's in Gatorade.
No, there's a big sunspot, or something, solar storm.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm talking about science, Ray.
he's like, here we go with your facts.
Yeah. No, I just like the Bluetooth just started picking back up and I lost the speaker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, dumb. But yeah, I know Mercury's going into retrograde. I know there's like sunspot shit going on. I was trying to get the show like ready earlier from my cell phone, which I can do now.
Mm-hmm.
But like you can run the show from your cell phone now, almost. So they made the online experience a little bit better from the phone. But like Google kept kicking me off like all day long. Like I reboot it and try to go back.
My maps, my Amazon Music, my Gmail, my phone in general, like literally everything is messing up.
And I tried to reboot my whole phone. Just turn it off and turn it back on. It took forever for it to start back up.
Nice.
You think, oh no.
Like, and like I keep plugging it in and like the shit won't charge right, or like the charger just falls out. It's like, what the hell is going on? Everything's falling apart.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys.
What?
You know that Ouija board that we're going to give away?
Yeah.
I tested it out.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't have that plastic circle there. What have you let out?
I don't know, but I didn't do it at home. I did it at the seminary, so it's fine.
Okay. How did it work? How did you like it? Did it work?
It was cool. We have to work out some kinks, but we're trying an experiment because I feel like people always purposely push the Ouija board where they want it to go, and they purposely spell things out and whatever.
That's why I don't generally like using them.
We're trying to figure it out so that we have two people blindfolded, and they're the ones that use the planchette. And then somebody who's not blindfolded will like stand over them and read the letters. And then before like the people put their blindfolds on, and then the person who's not blindfolded like spins the board so that people don't know which way it's going.
So like an Estes spirit board session.
Yeah.
You got to come up with some kind of name for that.
Right.
And say, this
but
is
yeah,
my
I was
method.
The D-Nice method. The D-Nice method.
At first, I was refusing to like actually touch it. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then I was like, I had to. I don't know.
See, you always, I mean, you do get scared, like I do, but you always go for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Shelly keeps yelling at me. She's like, stop telling people that you're a chicken shit. You do brave things all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I guess there's a difference between like,
that's a big thing.
I will. But there's a difference between like being scared and doing something while you're scared. Like I'm not letting it stop me. I'm still trying new things. I'm just scared the whole time I do them. It's fine.
No.
It was cool though.
Sunspot. This is why you're getting kicked off the show, Ray.
We can't even count on you anymore.
I show up 10% of the time.
We're here, not lagging. Look at us. It's fine. We'll just hold the show.
We ended the show.
And we're just sitting here talking shit.
He's like, you guys still on there?
No, you know what it is? Everybody was gone. So like as soon as everybody gets home, everybody's on the Wi-Fi. And now everything's starting to screw up.
So like when you freeze, can you hear us talking?
Yes, I kept talking. Like I thought maybe my video just went down and you could still hear me. So I'm like, can you hear me? I'm fixing it. I don't know what's going on. And I can hear you guys talking about me like not being a part of my show anymore. I'll take this show down if that happens.
We just want to test it. We just wanted to test it out.
I know.
I'll start it back up. I was on this show 3 weeks after you.
I got the code.
You know I'm not going to start it back up. I'm not that technically savvy. It's a lot of effort. Yeah, I'm just be like, you know what? Ray was right.
He still can't even. He still don't know how to like sign into it on the computer yet. So I keep saying he'll get there, but he won't.
Because I don't use my computer for anything but my flight simulator, and that doesn't even work half the time. I have broken probably my computer because I put flight simulator on this thing, and it's like
it's a big program, yeah.
That's why I don't use my computer anymore. My phone works way better. It's just I can't see the comments at all until you guys put them up. Like I don't see any of them like on Facebook or anything.
Yeah.
Well, you can, but then you can't see the actual show.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know the comments until you guys put them up.
Yeah. Which is fine. That's fine.
Hey, Mama Bear, you got any questions for us, Eddie, Kathy,
Don't you
Tony?
love how I always hone in on Ray's stuff? Like, he took me ghost hunting first, and I'm like, now I'm like, well, I'm gonna take over his show.
Now I'm gonna do this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he becomes member of our group, then all of a sudden I'm the one that's getting suspended for a month.
And I'm the leader.
Yeah, right. Then
Can
we
you
kick
believe
the
that?
guy
Jake?
out
I'm actually the leader of our group.
Nice.
No, I'm not really. We don't have titles.
No,
But-
we got rid of that.
You can make your own title.
Well, I did.
You
Super
can
Ghost
wear
Hunter.
if you want to. You can
No,
wear a
there's a lot
cape
of drama.
and a crown.
There's a lot
So
of drama that had to be cut out because Ray kept getting suspended. He's a fucking troublemaker.
No, because I knew the guy who was running it was an asshole, and finally that came to light when somebody complained about him in a really bad way. But I guess I was still considered the drama maker because they appointed Heisenberg the lead investigator after that. But now that guy left, so
Yeah. No, we have.
just-
Why
yeah,
do
we
you
don't
laugh
have
so hard
titles.
when you say Heisenberg? You say Heisenberg
What?
lead investigator, and then you laugh really hard.
because I just know how our team rolls. Like everybody wants everybody
There's
wants
no
somebody else to
titles
make
in
a
our
decision.
team, man.
Yeah.
There's no
So where do you
titles in
guys
our
want to go
team.
next? I don't know. What do you
I
want
don't
to do?
know.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
we can't
What
get
do
shit
you
done.
wanna do?
We don't have,
Let's go have a
we
smoke
don't, we
break.
don't have a structure.
No, but it's fine because that's why we get along. That's why
Yeah.
we continue as a group.
Right.
Yeah, there's nobody going, all right, we're going to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you guys want to do?
Oh, you can't use that piece of equipment in
Yeah.
this group.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
not
like, what do you
mine.
guys want to do, man?
Right.
I'm like, I don't give a shit. You use whatever you want. You can throw a pen down the hallway for no reason. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Whatever you want to do, whatever you feel works for you.
I wanted to, Kathy, we're definitely that's part of the kinks that we were working out because we need to work out a better system. We're thinking about writing down the questions beforehand because Charlie was writing down the answers and he was just writing down words or letters or whatever, but he didn't write down the questions too. So it was just a bunch of words and we had no idea what it was for. And the other thing that we want to do is we want to put somebody's phone or a camera above the board so that we can keep track, go back and watch it later.
That makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
there was one point where we thought that we were talking to a child and it was not answering in the circle, it was answering at the point. Because when you put the planchette down and you put the circle on all of the letters that Charlie had written down, the actual point was what spelled a word.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was not, that's why I want to make sure that we record it next time so we can go back
Right.
and watch it and see, what the actual board looks like.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool experiment. We weren't there for a super long time, just because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was really cool. And now I'm kind of bummed that I said that I would give away that Ouija board because now I kind of want to win it back because it was fun.
Put it in the universe. Maybe you'll find another one in another
Right.
house.
Yeah.
People always try to get rid of them and just hide them away in a closet somewhere and forget about them.
Yeah. That's true.
After
it
they
would
open
be
the
fine to
box.
get
I'm
rid
just going to buy a bunch of them and put them in walls. All
I know.
around the
People
I
do
mean, if you
that.
don't care what kind it is, I have a Stranger Things Ouija board.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that for
You're like,
Christmas.
what the hell is Stranger Things?
I still haven't used it.
Yeah.
Have you
This
guys
one,
watched Stranger Things at all? No?
I know what it is, but no, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't watch it.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
I'm done. I won't touch it anymore.
That board came from a house that is definitely haunted. It was one of my listings and I had to go there by myself and I actually sat in the driveway and cried for like 20 minutes after I left there because this house was
Wow.
like super intense and like,
Wow.
so maybe it's a good thing that I don't keep that particular board. Maybe I'll
Right.
find another one. But
I'm just calling you, man.
yeah,
That's so cool that you found it, though. I mean, it's a little creepy. but
Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Where did you find it in the house? Like,
It was in the
somewhere?
garage. It was not in the house. It was in the
Oh, okay,
garage.
okay. Well,
So
it's in the garage for a reason, probably.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
Yeah.
you find out it's like a collector's piece because it's an older board.
it was. Yeah. So
Yeah. It was
It was
funny because all
the-
these people are like, "I'll take that off your hands for you."
Yeah,
right.
it's probably worth like
I'll buy
$2
it
million.
Right.
No, I looked it up first. Yeah, the brother is selling the house because his sister died and it was her house. And so we were cleaning out the garage and he was like, "Is that a Ouija board?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Get it out of here. I don't want it anywhere near me." And I'm like,
Okay.
"I'll take it."
There's some
He's
history
like-
to it then, or he's just not into Ouija boards. But
Right.
somebody put it in the garage for a reason, unless they put all their games out there. But I mean, that was the one that was left behind.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I keep saying that I put stuff out in our garage, but our garage is connected to our house, so I don't think it really does that much.
No.
I
This
tell
one
Kate,
was
I told
like-
Kate, I was like, I'll put it in the garage. She's like, it's still connected to the house.
Right. And you guys go out there all the time.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't
Yeah.
count. You need like a
That's the thing,
shed.
it's like, yeah, like our house is a split level, but unlike most split levels, I have to go down steps into the base or into the garage and then down more steps into my basement.
Oh, okay.
It's just a weird setup.
Yeah.
So it's like if anything's separate from the house, it's the basement kind of, but
Right.
it's still like right under the living room. But we're not. I consider the garage part of the house because
You
it's-
can't get to the basement from the house.
Right. Yeah,
But you can
yeah,
get to the garage from the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
somebody didn't want it for some reason.
Yeah. And it was
Look
tied
it
up
up.
with twine.
Oh,
Really?
and you untied it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm like
It was bounded, and she
super
unbounded
brave.
it.
I know, she
Yeah.
unbounded the Ouija board.
I did.
I mean, you've seen The
I mean-
Exorcist. No, you haven't.
It was just the box was like tied like a plus sign, you know, like
Yeah.
you would wrap a present. It was just done like that a
Mhm.
couple times. It was
A
fine.
couple times.
It wasn't like wrapped all the way around like 100 times.
Sure.
Sounds like a binding to me.
Well, fuck.
Specifically, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Kathy knows more about it if she's still on, but
I got to try to win that and bind it back up.
Right?
well, maybe somebody from Madison will, like somebody that you've been working with on this, will win it.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, that somebody at
Yeah.
least from Madison will win it. Okay. Good question, Nancy.
I know where that is. Oh, go ahead. You do it.
Ohio's like,
So
go ahead.
you don't have to tell somebody if the house is haunted. However, if the house has like a terrible death, not like an old woman died in her sleep of old age, whatever.
Murder. Or
But
something like
if
that.
there's a murder or a suicide in a house, you have to disclose that. You don't have to put it on your listing. You just have to put it like if somebody puts in an offer, you have to say, I can't remember the word, but you have to say that it's a something property. That's really going to piss me off. I'll text you later, Nancy, and tell you what it's called. But and then only if they ask, what does that mean? Then you have to say that there was a murder or a suicide there.
Interesting.
Now
We
in
just
New
learned
York,
that.
yeah, the state of New York, they do have to post that it's haunted.
But
Oh,
how do
really?
they know
If
that?
they
Every
think that
place
it's
can be haunted.
All right.
I make the law.
That's crazy. Because
A lot of situations that'd probably be like, oh yeah, it's haunted. I'm buying that motherfucker.
right.
Early,
But,
I'm
like,
pretty sure
also-
the state of New York, you gotta tell people if it's haunted or if you believe it's
That's
haunted or
crazy.
something.
But who knows? Because if I have like spirit guides that follow me around and they're just like everywhere I go, then everywhere I go is going to be haunted.
Yes.
Yep.
So it could be a brand new build
Mhm.
and it's haunted because I brought something with me.
Yeah.
Because you know everything, Kathy.
Right.
We're just kidding.
No, but we did
maybe.
make sure that we said goodbye. We said we were ending the session. We said we were done talking. We would talk to them later, you know,
Yeah.
did all of that stuff. But I don't
That's
know.
cool.
I'm just on this like thing lately. You know, I've been preaching so much about it on the show. Like, if you believe that you're protected, then you're protected. So I'm like, whatever. It's a Ouija board. I'm stronger.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was originally just to be. Well, I can't say that because they had spirit boards before. You know,
Right.
Milton Bradley started putting them out, or whatever company it was. But,
Right.
you know, the mindset was it was supposed to be just a spooky, fun game.
Right. I
But
don't
they
know.
have
I
been
just,
using spirit boards for ages.
yeah.
Well,
In
I feel the
lots
same
of
way with
different
like I use
forms.
my pendulum. Yeah,
Right.
I feel
Or
the same way
dowsing
when I use
rods.
my. Yeah, you know, the pendulum I feel like I have a little bit more control over. And even then, like sometimes, you know, first of all, I'm asking questions that I don't know the answer to. So how do I
Right.
know what the pendulum is saying is actually truth?
Right.
So we were at the Gill House. I was filming with Marcus, and didn't get it on film, but I started using it, and I started having other people ask questions that they knew the answer to that I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So they would ask the question, or tell me to ask a question. I would ask it, and we would see where it swung, and
Okay.
it was responding correctly.
That's cool.
So it's
See,
like,
that's what I'm saying. I love doing experiments like that. I
yeah,
love when you take like the possibility of cheating out of it.
yeah, right.
That's why I like
Yep.
the Estes method. That's why I thought it would be cool to be blindfolded and do the Ouija board. You know, you asking questions that you don't know the answer to.
Right.
Like, I like that kind of stuff.
We're almost at time, guys. I think. What time is it? Like
9:58.
My eyes are
So,
so.
if you guys
messed up
have
from
anything
my
you'd like to
allergies.
plug?
I would.
All right.
These hoodies.
Beautiful.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. How many do we have left, and what size? Or how many do
We have
have
like
left?
4. We have 4
Okay.
hoodies.
These were extras from a limited run.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of people pre-order. I know Nancy ordered a couple. She'll be getting hers at
Mhm.
MadCon. Yeah, so I got one. They're pretty cool. They're really cool. We got some zip ups. What do we have left? Like we have a couple of both, don't we? Zip up
Yeah, I
and
think we
full
have 2 of each, honestly.
What size is the zip up?
Why? You want one? I told you
Told me
to
what?
let me know. I told you to let me know.
Oh, well, what size is the zip up?
Let's make
God
plans.
damn it,
on the
Heisenberg.
show.
That's what the group chat's for, man. She explained all of
Right.
this earlier today.
Really? I gotta start looking through that.
I mean, she listed the sizes, what they were.
See, I see
Sure.
like 23 unread messages. I just go to the bottom.
You gotta hit the 23 messages. That's an actual
Right.
button, and it'll take you to the last message that you need to start with.
Well, I
So
think
we
they
have
need to know that I want stuff.
a large zip up. We have a 2X pullover. We have an extra large pullover and an extra large zip up.
The extra large zip up's mine.
Okay.
That'll be
I'll give you
$80.
money at MadCon.
Yeah, you have to pay double because you're a pain in the ass, and I asked you twice if you wanted one.
I love you guys. It's so much fun.
You really asked us twice?
Yes. I know, dude.
Right, dude?
She knew
I'm
what my
about to
answer
go
was going to
broke.
be. She did it before I did. She was like, huh.
I should just text you next time, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I tell people this all the time.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Eddie. Hope everything's okay.
Oh no!
Oh,
Freaking vet bills, man.
yeah.
It's come down from the boss man himself. The last
Yeah.
time, man. I think
No,
if there's
I will
anybody
fail
in
the
that-
beast many more times. Trust me.
just so you guys know, both of your
Good night, Kathy.
your annual. Good night, Kathy.
Our annual what?
Your annual reviews are coming up, so we need to schedule some time so I could sit down and tell you areas you need to improve. And
Is it this
What?
area and
And the
this
area-
area?
This area right here.
right, pretty much.
Oh my God! Maybe you should
I
give
would
us.
like. You know what?
reviews.
No. I want
Yeah,
my
do it.
annual review, and I want it typed up.
Yeah, and then I want you to read it on the air
Yep.
so people can hear it.
That would be
Better
so
get
funny.
going, man.
Listen, we got to talk.
Yep.
Oh God, I
Wilbur
shouldn't have
expects
opened
him on
that.
his desk by Monday morning.
Yeah. Do they come with a pay raise?
The pay raise. I don't get paid.
You know,
Or pay?
No. Right.
I do.
I
You
think
didn't
we
sign the
pay
contract,
more.
man.
We pay way more than we make. That's for sure.
Right?
All of us.
Jeez. But
This is
yeah, we got all
I can't
kinds of
imagine
merch.
I pay myself $1 every
Hey,
time I
maybe
do
if
the
our
show, so I
boss,
get paid
if
for
our
something.
boss David got us some people to help us out, like some businesses. No, I'm just kidding.
Interns?
No, what's the word? Like,
Sponsors?
have like sponsors. Yes, I can see. It's time to go because I can't think of my words.
Dremel. When you like to
There's some
ghost hunt and
sponsors.
fix stuff.
Wolver.
How about that? I just
What's
did a
that?
commercial. Dremel. When you like to
Dremel?
ghost
There you
hunt and fix stuff.
Yeah, because see, I got to do the review, but then Wolver's got to review all of them.
Yeah.
I know, Dave. I'm just kidding. We really need to get Ghost Energy Drink on board because that would be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Ghost
if they just
energy
gave us
drink. It'll haunt your tiredness away.
Yeah.
All right, we've taken up enough of these people's time.
We sure have.
So thanks again. Super thanks for Kalani for coming on.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's pretty cool.
It's great talking to him. Can't wait to meet him at MadCon 5, which is next weekend,
Oh my gosh.
September 17th.
So excited.
How much are those
Dave
sweatshirts?
Wolvers.
Laura?
Denise, I'm just trying to mess with
Hello,
you. I'm
Laura.
sorry.
I didn't hear
Laura,
you because I was reading Laura's comments.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Uncle Tony.
Thanks, Uncle Tony.
Message me when the show is over because I'm just going to tell Uncle Tony what his present is because he's not going to be at MadCon.
Oh, what?
No.
No.
So, spoiler alert. Sorry. I thought that was known. So Tony, text me and I'll tell you what your present is. Because I can't wait anymore because I'm bad at surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, MadCon, we have so much merch that is new and exciting and fun.
It's insane. It's insanity.
I know. Really though, like we have hoodies. I feel like that's like
Right.
We've taken the next step.
you know. Yeah, we have.
And we're coming at you with a new fashion statement next time we see us. So.
Oh yeah.
Exclusively
I'm
only
excited.
for hosts of the show.
There's 3 of us.
Yeah,
Like
right.
we made this awesome stuff, but you can't have any of it because it's
Yes.
just for us.
Yes.
And this shirt I'm wearing, yes, it's a new shirt, but it was actually just a test shirt, and I actually like it. I think that work came out.
I told Ray that we almost have Kate thinking about buying a T-shirt printer thing.
And my wife is actually is about to be getting a press too. We got to figure out the Cricut stuff and how to get our freaking leather.
Yes,
jab.
that's it,
Yeah.
Wilbur. That's exactly it, damn it.
It's leather chaps with the Heisenberg picture where he's reaching up.
Right. Is he cupping? Is that what he's
He's
doing?
embroidered onto the leather chaps.
Get your Cryptic Paranormal Show jock straps. And all right, that's enough. That's enough.
Oh, nope. Tony's already got those.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh my God. So many good ideas.
Yes. Because you can't tell Denise this shit because
No, you gotta
a week
stop.
from now,
I'll have
A
it
week
here in
from-
5 to
yeah.
7 business days. Yep.
right. Next week we'll have a message in group chat when we wake up in the morning. Look what I got, guys.
Look what I got.
Heisenberg boxers.
There are so many times where the guys don't even know what I'm doing. I will just like order something and I'm like, look what I got.
Nice.
My favorite was the Heisenberg stickers though, because I just texted Goose and I was like, I need you to remove this background and write Heisenberg at the bottom of it. Don't ask questions. And he's like, okay. He sent it to me in like 5 minutes. Never asked a question.
I'm getting pretty on game with my my Adobe Express usage.
Yeah.
Heisenberg pasties. All right, guys.
Those are sold in the special shop.
On that note,
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Again, thank you for Kalani for coming on. We're excited to meet you Saturday. Excited to see all of you, except for Tony, who I'm sorry you're not gonna be able to there. I hope you start feeling better, buddy. It's Dave. We'll see you there. Kalani, we'll see you there. We'll see everybody there that can come. But that's it for now. I have no guests for next week, so let's just say it right here. Let's just have another 2-hour pair hang because we're all going to be getting ready for MadCon.
It's MadCon Eve.
right.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, yeah,
well, MadCon Eve.
Nah, because MadCon starts on Friday.
Well, not for me because I won't be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not all about you, Ray. Sometimes it's just not all about you.
I get it.
MadCon
It's something I'm trying to learn. I'm sorry.
No, it's all about me. It's all about me.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's true. But
I don't like you.
All right, guys. We'll spook you later, crypto heads. Come join us next week for the pair hang for 2 hours pre-MadCon party, and we'll spook you later.
And don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.